Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Last of Us Infected Analysis. And I'm really liking this series. After the very first episode, we had the runner, and I think it's a good series just to, like I said, extend The Last of Us character analysis. We only got a few more infected to go, but today we're going to be talking about the stalker. Now, the stalker is creepy, you know. It's to say the least. It's probably one of the scariest infected in my opinion, just based off solely what they do. And yeah, we're gonna be talking about the stalkers today. So, as always, I'm getting this info from the Last of Us wiki, which great site as always. Stalkers are the second stage of the infected in The Last of Us, and The Last of Us Part 2, and Left Behind. They take between 2 weeks and 1 year to reach the stage of after exposure to the cordyceps brain infection. Stalkers have the vision and speed of runners, the ferocity of clickers. The most notable physical traits that define the stalkers are the most distinct croaking noises they make. The beginning of fungal growths host with only one eye left. The development of pseudo echolocation, and the discretion upon spotting a victim at the distance. They strafe and take cover, displaying an agile and stealth-reliant nature. They eventually close in on the target, hence the name Stalker. Up close, stalkers are very aggressive and will charge directly at the victim. Stage 2 may take place anywhere between a week and a month after the start of the infection, Stage 1, and last up to a year. Stage 3 in the University of Eastern Colorado, an x-ray of a stalker displays the fungal growth on the head. Their strength is equal to fit a human being, as their attacks interrupt actions made by the player. Although their grab attack can be shaken off, it will still result in an instant death from blood loss or infection if the stalker succeeds with the attack. According to the Stages of Infection collectible, the modus operandi of a stalker is to hide and ambush victims. The collectible implores readers to check their surroundings, but no other information is provided. Their croaking may be heard from a distance in various areas, but it only serves as an ambiance rather than a threat. Stalkers are rather rare, and they're only encountered as the main enemy twice in The Last of Us. Once in the basement of the hotel in Pittsburgh with a bloater, and once in the sewers with a pair of clickers. They're only encountered in the Left Behind DLC by Ellie for the first time on their own. They only found it in DLC. Strangely, all these places are either flooded or located near water. Stalkers often use this to their advantage, ambushing the player when they get close. In Part 2, stalkers behave differently and appear frequently in Seattle. They are typically found in abandoned, poorly lit buildings and parking lots. Though they also appear in the sewers and subway areas. They are also prominent in the forest areas of the city, especially in Seraphite-controlled territory. Stalkers are different to detect and listen mode. When approached, they will immediately run away and hide in the shadows, ensuring to maintain complete silence. Um, they will also become aggressive when they're approached or provoked by a loud attack, such as a gunshot or explosion. When encountered in groups, they will hide and attack their prey in a coordinated manner. Inside buildings, certain stalkers have become attached to walls, with fungus gradually going out of them. Over time, they will eventually die and calcify. Um, However, if found by survivors, they will break free and attack them. There is a rare, unique stalker variant encountered in the hospital basement, which pulls itself free from the Rat King, which we'll be talking about the Rat King as the very last episode of this miniseries. So, the variant is stealthy and nimble like a stalker, but boasts the increased quality and durability of and throwable acid pods of a bloater. Now, their combat. Some stalkers have a bioluminescent vein in the face, which makes them easier to see in the dark. They are fast and deadly in combat, especially when confronted in numbers. Because of this, it is best for players to keep their distance when trying to confront a group of stalkers. The player may lure nearby stalkers, and they use high-powered guns like a shotgun or flamethrower as they approach Joel. Stealth is an option, but not advised due to them being almost impossible to grab while moving away because of their heightened awareness. They may also run away to take cover. If they see the player approaching from a distance, there's a tag worth 100 in-game currency called The Hunter Becomes the Hunted. For stealth killing a stalker from behind for the first time, though, this is not advised when there is a group of them because there's a high chance they will overwhelm the player. Because they are stronger than runners, stalkers can override Joel's punches by grappling or striking him. One way to combat this is to throw a brick or a bottle at them to attacks, or simply use a melee weapon rather than fight barehanded. However, because they are often encountered in large numbers, it is best to rely on firearms. One blast from a shotgun is enough to take them out, as it is a headshot from a hunting rifle. Unlike the more able-bodied Joel, it is challenging for Ellie. Now, this is actually very interesting to talk about. as she only has her pistol when facing them. Because of this, it is best for Ellie to rely on the bricks in the area, throwing them directly at the stalkers to stun them so she could stab them with her switchblade. In part 2, however, the adult Ellie is able to out-wrestle them in close quarters combat and can swiftly dodge their surprise attacks. As a step up in strength from the runners, stalkers prove difficult foes for people to defeat. Many groups of military soldiers and WLF grunts have been killed by stalkers, particularly those who are forced to fight them in enclosed buildings, where lighting is minimal and there are plenty of spaces for them to hide. Abby was an exception, though, managing to kill the Rat King enhanced stalker. Ellie was also able to defeat the stalker from Boris Ligasov in close quarters combat. Yeah, I didn't know how to spell that name or pronounce it. But that's pretty much the stalker. Now, what I think about the stalker is it's a great infected, creepy infected, right? Um, they seem to like to hide out in dark, damp places, and they also like to hide out like where there's water and stuff. I don't know. It just seems like they like kind of wet, low places. You know, if that makes sense. I don't know. Kind of like wet, low places. And it's definitely an interesting thing because that vein that we were talking about that kind of glows in the dark, that's actually quite interesting because it shows that the cordyceps infection is taking over, but there's still a little bit of that person left in the stalker, as that is the second stage. Now the next one we're going to go through with the clicker. Yes, we're going in order, so it's clicker and like we're going to go through all the stages of infected. So the next episode is going to be the clicker. So we're going to be talking about the clicker. That's the third stage in the infected process. But I like the stalker. It definitely proves. Now the runner, of course, it's easy. They're pretty easy to defeat. And the next in line is the stalker, which they're, you know, pretty difficult to defeat. So that's definitely second in line. Definitely provides a little bit more of a challenge as they mostly travel in. They're hide. They stalk you. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. The name, hence the name, the stalker. So definitely great infected. I think it's definitely good. So that's pretty much it for the stalker analysis. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying this series. We only got a few more left, and then I got good plans for more character analysis for games. A bunch of other games. I got good plans coming up, so we're sticking with this series. Yep. So yeah, make sure to subscribe for more content, like the video, all that good stuff. Discord, Twitch, Instagram, links in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video.